6 Days in Fallujah, to be honest, from first impressions it looks very interesting. But what makes this game so controversial? Well, the game was announced for a 2010 release. Unfortunately, it was cancelled due to its controversy. The game was put on hold until 2016 after its original studio went into bankrupt in 2011. Not sure if you guys are aware of, but this was the first in-game footage of this game, as you can see in the screen right now. And the idea that brought this to life was the one of recreating what happened in Fallujah for 6 days in November 2004, which basically focused in following a squad of US Marines fighting in the Second Battle of Fallujah. In 2009 though, multiple questions were raised as to its appropriateness, especially given the fact that the events that the game is based upon are true events, and not to mention that they were fairly recent at the time. It was originally to be published by Konami, however they no longer continue with the game due to the controversy surrounding it. Now, and this is the fun part, in February 2021, the game was announced again to be back in development at Highwire Games, consisting of former Halo and Destiny game developers, and will be published by Victoria. Now, this game is expected to be released by the end of 2021. 6 Days in Fallujah will be available for PC and next-gen consoles, and is expected to have a single-player and multiplayer option. Now, what can we expect from the game? It is a survival horror game, but not in the traditional sense. The team working on this project have interviewed over 70 individuals between Marines and civilians, where they describe the psychological aspect of everything that happens during times of battle. From that point, the team is focusing on delivering a tremendously realistic game that will deliver terrifying experiences while going through real scenarios and tactics employed during the Battle of Fallujah. It is further stated that the goal in 6 Days in Fallujah is to create the most realistic military shooter game possible. Based on the narrations, you will be able to experience true horror, as some of the missions within this game should include clearing out multiple locations from the territory, going from house to house, opening every door to clear them out, and most of the time the houses are empty, but every now and then you will encounter a stunningly lethal situation, which of course would generate a lot of tension and a lot of adrenaline. Now it's time for my personal perspective. I honestly would love to play this game. The reason why, it's because it promises to deliver a real experience, and it also promises to deliver some of the most difficult situations that a man can experience in his life. Given the opportunity to understand and realize what people in these circumstances have to go through is something that is definitely worth looking at. In terms of the game, I have seen so far only a cinematic footage, and it is too soon to say the extent of this game in terms of graphics. Back in 2009, they had even developed a graphics engine for this game alone. This time, I am not so sure what they are working on, but you can tell there is a lot of commitment involved in it, so hopefully they will deliver an exceptional experience. Now, as to developers, Highwire Games has worked on one previous game only called Golem. Atomic Games is an American video game developer based in Austin, Texas, who specializes in war games. However, there are no other titles of this magnitude to compare with, and perhaps have an idea of what the final product will be. However, being very optimistic, they might end up delivering a similar game that competes with the latest AAA titles that are being released. That, in combination with a compelling and true story, will for sure be something great. Not to mention that for what I have been able to read, they are truly paying close attention to all details. For example, in the single-player campaign, it includes some high-intensity stealth missions in which you can play as an unarmed Iraqi civilian. Additionally, out of respect, it has been said that players will never play as an insurgent during the single-player campaign or in a multiplayer recreation of an actual event. And lastly, a portion of the proceeds from 6 Days in Fallujah will be coalition service members, as well as Iraqi civilians who have been most affected by the war on terror. This is definitely fantastic. Now, I would like to hear from you guys. What is it that you guys think of this game? Maybe you can share that in the comments below.